Hello everyone! So I know it's been an incredibly long time since I've made a video on this channel. I am so sorry. School and work just totally took over my life, and I probably should be kicked off the channel, but I'm gonna make videos on this channel more regularly now. I'm so sorry. It's been forever since I made a video. But this video is pretty special. I'm gonna do a video about one of my favorite authors in the YA world, Jason Myers. In honor of his new book, Blazed, which comes out today, I cannot wait to read that one. I'm still waiting in the mail from Amazon to get it. Cannot wait. I'm going to be reviewing 3 of the books that I've read by him, and also show you his other book that came out in 2012 that I haven't read yet, so I can't really talk about it yet. So this is probably going to be a 2-part video. Right now I'll just review the first 3 books that I've read of his, and then I'll do a second video about the other 2 books. So I'm going to start with the book that I just finished recently, and that is Exit Here, which is his first novel. This book is a book about a boy named Travis Wayne, who is 19 years old, and I believe he lives in Iowa. Iowa is that's where he sets most of his books, I believe. And so he is back from school for the summer. He comes home from Hawaii. He went on a trip to Hawaii, and something happened in Hawaii that really twisted his life around and made him very apathetic, and you're not sure what it is until the very end, so I won't spoil what happened, but it's very, very depressing and sad and just dark. And that's the biggest reason why I love his books, as you'll see as I go through all of these. His books are really dark and very, very realistic, and they deal with issues that teens go through that are somewhat taboo, kind of like Ellen Hopkins' books. But the thing with Jason Myers is he takes it to the next level. It's really extremely gritty. This book is focused on drug abuse and mostly cocaine, but also, you know, alcohol and smoking. Everybody smokes in this book. Everybody drinks. They even drink in front of their parents, with their parents, which is very shocking, especially since the girl in this, I think, is 15, and he's 19, if I'm not mistaken. And there's also a really, really jarring scene in this book where their daughter has, like, I think they do cocaine together. The parents with the daughter. I never expected that to happen, and that's just completely shocking to me. It's all about, you know, drug abuse, and also the struggle with family and how messed up a family can get. Yeah, that's what this one's about, and it's a lot about apathy, Travis's apathy and his self-doubt and self-worth, and him trying to find out why he should keep on living. It's a really, really good book, and I really love Travis in this book, even though he was, you know, very difficult to read sometimes because of the decisions he made, but that's just realistic, that the characters have to be flawed. And I really, really enjoyed this book. This is probably my second favorite book that I've read by him. I highly recommend this one. This is his first novel, and I really recommend it. The next book he wrote after that was The Mission, and this one is about a boy named Caden Norris, who I believe he's 15, if I'm not mistaken, or 16 maybe, and his brother dies in Iraq during the Iraq War, and he gets a letter from his brother telling him to move in with, or to visit his cousin James, who is really good friends with his brother, and he doesn't really know him a lot that well, and James ends up introducing him a life of drugs, sex, and alcohol. It's a lot similar to Exit Here in that way, but the only difference is Caden is completely unlikable, and that made it really hard to read this book. I really did not like Caden, even though he is a lot like Travis in a lot of ways, except for the likability. I feel Travis is more sympathetic and more a well-rounded character. In this one, I just didn't really like Caden. He was just a dick. And I know there are characters like that, and I know that's the point, but I really didn't like his character. But I did enjoy the themes of this book. It is really dark with the drug abuse. I forget what drugs they used in this one. I read this a while ago. But he falls in love with a girl, and stuff happens. It's really, really dark. I don't remember a lot about it, to be honest. It's not my favorite book by him, but I still recommend it if you want to read a good, dark, realistic fiction about drugs, drug abuse, and about secrets with the family. That's really what this one's about. It's about secrets and keeping secrets and what your family is hiding from you, that sort of thing. And the last book I'm going to talk about is actually my favorite one, the first book I read by him, and that is Dead End. This is a book about a boy named Drew and a girl named Gina. It's told in their dual perspective, which is really interesting and new, something he hasn't done before. And it is essentially a romance novel, which is very different for him, who has written, books about drug abuse and alcohol and a lot of lust. So it's really interesting to show the love aspect from his point of view. Of course, it's a Jason Myers novel, so you know it's going to get really dark really, really quickly. And something happens in this book that makes Drew and Gina, makes their life just spiral out of control in a downward spiral extremely fast. I won't go into what happened because I think that's a spoiler, but they basically have to go on the run, and it is so incredibly dark, incredibly suspenseful. I could not stop reading this book. It is a wild ride from beginning to end. You just can't put it down. This is definitely my favorite book of his. It has a lot of... It makes me think a lot about Shakespeare in some aspects because of the Romeo and Juliet vibe of the story. I really, really enjoyed it, and it made me cry. It was so dark and so sad, but so, so good. Drew and Gina's love for each other is so pure and intense and just amazing. It is so, so beautiful, but incredibly dark, as with Jason Myers always is. If you're going to get into a Jason Myers novel, I definitely recommend this one to read first. It is absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend this one. So those are my reviews on Jason Myers and his novels that he's written so far. I have a few other books that I'm going to talk about in a later video once I read them, but his last book that he wrote in 2012 was Run the Game, so I'll be reading this one soon. It's about a boy named Alexander, and he meets a girl named Patty, and they start to fall for each other, but there are complications. That's basically all I know about it. I try not to go into his books knowing a whole lot, so it's a real monster too. It is like 500 pages, so it might take me a while to read, but I can't wait to read Blazed. I might read that one before Run the Game. I'm not sure what I'll read first, but I just love Jason Myers. I think he's a fantastic author, and I definitely think more people should read him, so I highly recommend them. So yeah, you can all buy Blazed now. It's out in bookstores, so go out and check him out. I hope you all enjoy his books, and I will definitely do a part 2 for the other 2 books in the series, or not in the series, in his kind of repertoire. So I can't wait to do that for you guys. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I shall see you guys next time.